Hey, good afternoon, Chester. Okay, real quick, and I'll give you a little idea of what's going on in Chester as far as the temperatures. It's 50 degrees. It feels like 50. There is no wind, and it's 99% humidity. Uh, right now, we do have, he's been traveling. Vince Velotti is headed south, and I don't know what for, but he's a storm chaser. Um, what I'm going live for today is just kind of give you guys an idea. There is a 2% tornado risk uh, just around Odessa in Midland, Texas. I guess they're famous for football. Uh, and West Odessa. What I'm looking for is a possible tornado. Let me get my draw tool out. In and around this area right here, and I'll show you why. Just south of Kermit and Coyote in that area, and I'll kind of explain why I believe that would be the better area. But the whole area that's shaded in green is in a 2% tornado risk. So let's go ahead and get to pivotal weather, and I hope it pops up. There it is. So it says right there, Pecos, and I believe that would be the better area for a tornado, but it's not in the tornado risk area. So let me go ahead, unless they've changed it a little bit. Let me go ahead and get to pivotal weather, and we are going to move it forward a little bit. Let's go to the updraft helicity. So it has changed a little bit. In around Midland, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Cape values. I'm going to go ahead and get out of the local and go to a regional area right there. And I'm looking around 2 o'clock time. And I'm going to go ahead and see right there. So let me see if I can get that in the middle of the screen there. So I'm going to look at the sounding of this real quick and see what happens. You see what the Cape values and the SIN values are. It's a marginal severe. And right there. Okay. So it has changed a little bit. You guys can see on radar Omega. I'm going to go ahead and explain a little bit of this. The Cape values, and Cape is convection available potential energy, and that's up at 1721, and the SIN value is at 0, and I believe that will be at 2 p.m. So that's why I'm going live right now. We got another 50 minutes. And we'll just take a look. This is the latest run at the 18Z. This is the latest run. So right there you can see, and let me get my draw tool out and I'm trying to explain it to you. Right here, when you see the LFC and the LCL, and that's the lifting condensation level and the level of free convection. The lifting of that condensation level, that's when that moisture basically gets, or the air particle or the air mass gets the moisture, and it's going to lift upward. And basically when you see the LCL and the LFC get close together, that's when you're going to see the clouds that form, and potential for that I guess storms to initiate the mesoscale, and that is what we are going to look at. So we do have the Cape values at 721 and the SIN at 0, and we looked at the updraft helicity. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let me get out of here real quick. Right there, and if we just go to right here, and you can see that. Let me go ahead and get that and erase that. So this is this area right here, the updraft helicity, and that measures the thunderstorm rotating updraft, what we call the mesoscale. And you have also the wind shear and the vertical lift. And that's what we are going to look at in this area right here. So let's go ahead and, like I said, I already showed you. Go ahead and erase that and get back to the reflectivity, and that kind of just shows you where a possible supercell is going to form. And I'm going to go ahead and get to radar Omega real quick just to actually see where that is located. To the corner down 2 counties. So let me go ahead and get to that and get to radar Omega. And so we're looking basically southwest of Odessa, maybe where a severe thunderstorm may initiate. Like I said, this could all change hour by hour, so we still got a little bit of a time. Right now, we do have storms that are initiating in that 2% area, and we do have a special weather statement, and that would be right there around Colorado City. It's going through, kind of headed northeast, and we're looking at 50-mile-an-hour winds and nickel-sized hail right there. Like I said, that is just
special weather statement has
northeast of Colorado City. Right, so there we go. So you can see these storms initiating right there. I'm going to go ahead and get to the COD satellite real quick. I'm going to try to pop it up, and then I'll get it on here on the OBS, which you're viewing right now. So let me get to the localized sector and put it in play. So you've seen right there, you see those little bit of storms that are popping up in around the area. If I go to my COD satellite, and I'm going to go ahead and get my draw tool back out again. Basically, that's what you see right there. All these little pop-up storms that you're seeing on the radar. So let me go ahead and erase that. I'm sorry, I got so many screens that I got to jumble through real quick. So what I'm going to do is look for a storm to form around this area. And so I'll constantly look at the cloud formation and see if there's basically, like I call it, like a mushroom, a supercell, and you guys have seen that before. And that's what I'm going to be looking at to see if a supercell forms in that area. Let me go ahead and erase that. Like you said, you can see the storm right there that's popping up. And if I go to radar Omega, that's probably got a little bit of a storm there. Let me go ahead and erase that. So that's what I kind of look for when I'm looking for a possible tornado in that area. A lot of your storm chasers will probably be on the ground visually looking at the clouds. I'm visually looking at it on College of DuPage cloud satellite. So let's get back to radar Omega, and let me get back to my studio. and that is the storm that you're seeing. Basically, that one that I just circled earlier, that is actually the one that you see that's got the severe or special weather statement. So if I go there and I go to this one right here, I'm sorry, I'm jumping. That's this storm right there, and that's got the special weather statement. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, a little bit lower in the area. And around about 2 o'clock, there should be something initiating a little bit south of there here in just a little bit. But that right there, and let me get back to my OBS studio. That is what you're seeing right there on where that special weather statement. Now I got to erase that. Erase that right there, and that's what you're seeing right there on the satellite as far as your cloud. So we're going to be looking at this, like I said, for about an hour or two, see what initiates just basically southeast of Odessa, Midland. So let's go ahead and get back to Pivotal Weather, and let me erase this, get back to OBS Studio, and pop up Pivotal Weather. Got so many programs open, but what we're going to be looking for is something to initiate right there in this area that I'm going to circle right here. And this is probably the best potential for some rotation, and that's what this updraft helicity. You see this little dark area. Go erase this. This little dark area from here going all the way up here is the updraft helicity, and basically, like I said, that measures thunderstorms rotating updraft. And that's what you kind of need for a tornado, and the wind shear, which way it's going. Let me go ahead and get out of this and get back to. So like I said, when I'm looking for where tornadoes are going to pop up, not only do I look at pivotal weather and looking at the updraft helicity, and there's a lot of things that you can do as far as pivotal weather. If I just click that off, that's that same area right there that we're looking at. That yellow is the updraft helicity. And if I go to supercell composite, shows right there in that same area a supercell potential to pop up in this area right here. Like I said, this is just kind of forecast, and this is the latest one, so it can pop up at any time between the next 40 minutes to an hour. So this is where we're going to look, and you already can see some storms initiating in that area. If I go to the significant tornado parameter, and this is the area right here. So we are going to look at that, and I'm going to go ahead and get off, or I'm going to go ahead and put that back on there. That's the area that we're going to look at, and that's the latest run that I've got, and that is 3 p.m. So actually between 2 and 3, it's kind of moved up. So that's actually 3 p.m. So I've kind of started a little bit early. Next hour and a half, we're going to look for this storm. I said 2. When I looked at it about an hour, or the last run, which is the 17Z, it showed it around 2. Like I said, every hour they do different runs, and This is the latest one, and this is the one I go look at. When you're looking for where tornadoes are going to happen, usually about noontime, I usually check this every hour, or just constantly checking it, because it changes every hour. But as of right now, this is our focus area, right here. And I believe, like I said, that it's southeast of Midland. Let me go ahead and take a look, because it looked like it changed locations. Let's get back to radar Omega. And let's erase that. And yeah, still southeast. Right there on the Interstate 20 corridor, right around, and I may chop this up, Thornville, Monahans in Texas is probably where that's going to initiate, somewhere around that area as of right now. So we are looking at the current radar in Texas and around Midland. And we do have 50-mile-an-hour winds, just basically just past Colorado City in Texas, pretty wide open, so there's not too many towns near there, with a lot of ranch areas. So just past Colorado City and Roscoe in Texas, and headed towards Rotan in Texas. So that is the only warning that we have right now. Nothing as far as severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning. But we will look at what pops up. And again, like I said, in this area right here, for a potential, some potential rotations, severe thunderstorm popping up. And we'll just have to constantly look in the next hour and a half. So what's going on in around the United States? Let's go ahead and get to the MS, the National Radar, I call it. So let me get off the reflect. Okay, that's good. So basically, this is what you see. You got a low pressure system that's moving across, and basically that's what's going to bring us the showers in and around Chester, Illinois. So let's get back to pivotal weather, and let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick, because we still got a little bit of time for that storm initiates. We're going to mid-level flow and jet stream. We're going to zoom out, and we are going to the global site, and I'm going to move this over and get the whole United States in there. All right, so pivotal weather, and you can see where this low is sitting. Let me go ahead and turn it on. This is where this low is sitting, and this is what's producing. You see these this purple right here, right below that low, is what's bringing in those pop-up showers and thunderstorms that may become severe. Like I said, there's a 2% tornado risk in that area. So yeah, right here is where your 2% tornado risk is. This is where your low is sitting, and this is going to bring some of that rain up here tomorrow. in Chester. Let's get off of that. You can see I'm going to go ahead and run it real quick. Turn that low off. And I'm going to go ahead and run it. And you see where it just comes and right here's where it's at. Pushing those storms in through Texas right now. Then going into Monday, we're going to have some showers. Right there. If we go to composite reflectivity or surface precipitation, right around the area, you can see it, some showers. Don't look like anything severe, but we do have some showers going to be coming in the area. So let's go ahead and get back to Radar Omega. And I'm going to change this back to, I always change it to convection, the latest model. And that way I can check out where potential tornadoes are going to be. I go to pivotal weather to look for the updraft helicity. And I'm into her, and I get down to regional. And right there, I'm going to move that back, and this is where we're looking. I believe that is the 12 model. So it was almost kind of in the same area, but it's kind of shifted down south. I'm going to go back to the 18 Z run. I'm sorry, the run, and it's right there in that area right there. So basically I looked at it earlier, and I looked at the 12Z run, and I'm going to go ahead and show that. That's where I actually thought this area right here, if you can see that, that's exactly where the potential for a tornado or some rotation when I woke up this morning. Like I said, and that's why it changes every hour. And so I go ahead, and you can see right there, right around 3 o'clock, if I looked at the 12Z run, it was about 2 o'clock. So right here in this area, like I said, southeast of Midland, potential for some rotation, and that's what we'll look at right now. So let me go ahead and get back to Radar Omega. And let me go ahead and get to the current radar. Basically, this is where that storm is right now. Special weather statement. Elsewhere, there isn't a whole lot going on. Right here in the San Juan National Forest, you guys are under a winter weather advisory. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. Expect snow above 9,000 feet. Additional snow accumulations of 3 to 6 inches northwest of San Juan Mountains, southwest San Juan Mountains, or northwest and southwest of San Juan Mountains, and that's in effect until midnight tonight. So in the higher elevations, same as far as the Carson National Forest in New Mexico, Santa Fe National Forest in New Mexico, and Pecos Wilderness. And most of those are in the higher elevations. And here, additional snow up to 2 inches. Right there. Let's see where else we got. So Idaho and Montana Same thing, it looks like in higher elevations. Minor to moderate winter weather impacts up to 2 inches in the valley, 2 to 6 inches in the higher terrain, including low and lost trail passes. I'm thinking of Yellowstone when I look at this. So, Bitterfoot National Forest, that's Pierce Clearwater National Forest. You're under a winter weather advisory. Glacier National Park, Flathead National Forest, Fort Belknap Indian Reservation area, and that looks like about it. So winter weather advisory up here in Montana and in Idaho. Elsewhere, we don't have anything. And we're going to go ahead and get back to this, and you see where, let's go ahead and put that on live. You see where those thunderstorms are starting to initiate around Pecos in Texas. So this is the area where you see just a little bit of precipitation right there. So our area of concern is going to be right here in the next couple of hours, and that's the best chance for rotation. This is the things that I look at. Kind of interesting to see how all this plays together with the send, the cape, the shear, the dew points, the temperatures, how all that comes together to form these supercells and thunderstorms. It's kind of interesting. I've always been interested in it. Like I said, this Radar Omega, you can get certain different packages. I pay for Radar Omega, and I also pay for Radar Scope, which I don't know if I'm going to keep Radar Scope. I don't use it that often. Radar Omega, like I said, it does. This guy right here is Vince Willotti, and he's headed south. He was around Bloomington, Illinois, and he's been tracking pretty good. And now he is in southern Missouri around Poplar Bluff. So he's been driving pretty good. He is not live, but all these little markers here, you can view cameras with Radar Omega.
Attention, a new special weather
You
statement
can see what's
has been
going on. And if I go a little bit further out, you can view these cameras throughout the United States that has these. Most of these are pretty much focused around, actually Tennessee's got a ton of them. Georgia, Texas has got a few. Let me go ahead and get the radar side out so you can see it. We got another special weather statement kicking off. Probably that same storm is moving on north. But we do have some of these cameras in and around Texas. We don't have an abundance of them. We do have one in Louisiana. Got several in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. We might have one in Carolinas, but a ton of them in Texas, a few in Missouri, and in Iowa and Nebraska. And that's it. I'd like to see a lot more. You can get some traffic cams, but some of the traffic cams either are, when you play them, they're just still bits, and some of them are live cameras, depending on where you go, and you've got to, I haven't done it, and I probably will when I get out of school, which I'm not personally in school, but I work at the school. During the summertime, I probably look at what state has the best Department of Transportation cameras. And those are kind of neat, so you can actually you know, if you're on an interstate and you have a camera out there and a tornado is headed in that area, you might be able to catch it on camera. Last summer, I actually watched a tornado, and I don't know why this semi truck just went straight into it and ended up flipping the semi truck. And I was watching that on a traffic cam. So I watched that on Max Velocity. He's real good, and he has access to a lot of those cameras, and that's where I seen that at. So far we got 2 special weather statements, and I believe that's the same storm. That one will probably Colorado City area and Snyder City will probably be canceled here shortly. Rotan, Texas, look like you're in the path of this storm, which is not severe warned, but it is packing some winds. Let's go ahead and see what they got here. Knock down some tree limbs, blow around some unsecured objects. So again, it's 50-mile-an-hour winds and nickel-sized hail. And that's headed towards Rotan, Texas. I'm hoping I'm not chopping these names up right there. Rotan. Well, it's going to be Rotan today. That's how we pronounce it here in Chester, Illinois. Crossroads, Scott Center, you're all going to be in the path of this. It looked like it's moving pretty quick. If we take a look and see how fast this is moving, 36 knots, and I'm gonna have to get my camera out. I've actually contacted Radar Omega. They used to put it in miles per hour, and they said they are working on it. But basically, knots is you got to times it times 1.15. So let me go ahead and get that on the miles. So we're looking at 36 knots, 36 times 1.15. Yeah, so 41 mile an hour is this cell is moving, and that's how fast it's going. I wish I had a better converter than have to use my calculator, but they used to do it within the Radar Omega app. I hope they fix it. But let's go ahead, and you can see some storms starting to initiate around Pecos, Texas. And this is, this is kind of the area, like I said, right about here in this area that I'm looking at. And we do have a storm initiation right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at, I call it the COD satellite. That's College of DuPage, and I'm going to have to turn it back on. There we go. And see where this storm is initiating. I'm going to get out. That is a localized sector. We are going to right there. Okay, I see where it's initiating right now. And let's see if I can get down a little bit closer to that. It's hard to really tell. And let me get it here. I'll try to get it here on with my draws tool. But that little storm that I just circled is right. I'm on the wrong screen here. Right there is where it's popping up. And let's go ahead and get back to Radar Omega. And again, that is actually this storm right there that's picking up. So you don't see a very strong as far as the cloud. So that's what we're going to look for here in the next, what's going on, 15 minutes to be at 2 o'clock. So that's what we're going to be looking for in the next hour or so. If we could, I'm going to go ahead and get back to pivotal weather. We're going to take a look and see if there's any update as far as the most current. And still, this is the most current right here at 3 o'clock. And we're going to go ahead and just look again at the soundings. And you won't be able to see that very good. Let me go ahead and window capture. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Right there. And I'm going to go ahead and move it back a little bit. And like I said, right there, then I'm going to show you again. And still, this is the latest until we get to the 19Z run. Go ahead and get to my draw tool. So again, so when I'm looking for rotation and a supercell, and you know, I call it the mushroom cloud. When you go outside and you see a big mushroom cloud and you see a spaceship disk, a supercell, that's what we're looking for on as far as the clouds to initiate a severe thunderstorm. And so with the CAPE values, and we want a lot of the energy, and so we're going to look at the CAPE values, which is 1721, and you know, it's not extremely high. We've seen them up to 3,000. In the summertime, if you've seen some of my pictures of the tornadoes, I'm sorry, I got a dog barking. If you've seen some of the pictures of my tornadoes that I've seen, those CAPE values were way up there. I've seen some of the biggest tornadoes that didn't last very long. You know, I looked at some areas where they have tornadoes going through the same area back to back. I think one place had like 4 or 5 times. I'll be right back. Time for Get on the Dog. Stop. Sorry about that. My dogs are arguing with the dogs across the way. But anyways, so when I'm looking at this, and I'm going to go ahead and try to show you, and I'm going to back it up. As you can see, you got the LFC and the LCL, and they're kind of separate. And you really want them to get as close as they can together. And I'm going to go ahead and move that forward again. And you can see when they're right there, then you know storms are going to start happening. And that is actually going to be, that says 2 p.m. Good chance at 2 p.m. for storms to start initiating. Which I think is kind of weird. And I thought we said 3 o'clock, but this isn't showing 2 o'clock. Let me get out and see where we're at. Yeah, so this is what we're looking at 3 o'clock. So between 2 and 3, this is what we're looking at. And we want to get those, we want to get higher CAPE values. We want to send, basically, if you can see right there, the SIN is in the green, and the CAPE is only 500. So if I move that forward, And let me go ahead and erase that. Go back. Right there. That sin is at 0, and you got the Cape at 1721. Possible hazard, tornado. You can't see it's behind my face right there. Let me go ahead and get to Radar Omega, and I'll just kind of show you really quick. Okay, right there in a small corner there, you'll see possible hazard type tornado. So this is something that you can pick up on Radar Omega. Another thing that I will look at is photographs. I don't have it ready today, but I will look at photographs for, see where the energy is. I can try to get it up, but I have to move it to another screen, so now I have to pretty much, well, hold on one second. We're going to give it a try. All right, I think I might be able to get it up here. Let me get back to, although you got this photograph right here, let's go to, see if we can pick that up right there. So what I will do is we're going to change sectors, get down here to Texas. Yeah. See if we can get better. That's still the same area. I know we can get closer. No. Okay, so what I'll do, yeah, it looks like we'll look at the wind shear. We'll get down here, look at the photograph map, and see what's going on. So, look like a good sickle right there. You won't be able to see it. Let me get my draw tool out. So we have potential for tornado in a few areas. But this is what we're going to look for right here. This is where some of the energy is. You see it right there. So I'll also look at the photographs. And this is just one of the tools I look at. You're looking for that sickle shape, little hook. Let me go ahead and get out of this. And get back here. And there we go. All right, so this is our satellite so far. I'm hoping, I do have my mic nest on. I was hoping that you'd be able to hear me. So, again, we are looking for storm initiation in around this area for supercell to pop up. Good chance for a severe thunderstorm and possible rotation for a tornado. Let's go ahead and get to our Radar Omega. Again, we still have that special weather statement storm right here, 50-mile-an-hour winds. And again, Rotan, Texas. In Illinois, we call it Rotan, but it's probably Rotan, Texas. Just the only special weather statement we have going on right now. But like I said, Here is a storm initiation right here. And this is kind of the same area that we were looking at earlier. I'm going to go ahead and get back to pivotal weather and get off of this real quick. In our latest run. Yeah. We're riding back to Radar Omega. So we do have some storms that are initiating, and we are going to look for a possible rotation. Round 3. It's going on 2 now. Between 2 and 3 is what we're looking at. Like I said, you check these every hour. There we go. Yeah, this one's moving at 28 knots. And you're looking at me and saying, what the heck is knots? We use miles per hour here in Chester. So let's go ahead and take a look. So this cell here is moving 28 knots, or 28 times 1.15. Basically, well, that's not right. 28 knots, 28 times 1.15, 32 mile an hour. So basically that's 32 mile an hour. Right there's that cell is moving. This is another thing that we have. Storm attributes. This is something they've added on Radar Omega. Could tell you the height, max DBZs. So let me go ahead and show you some of the things that we do have here on Radar Omega. And let's go ahead and get to this storm right here in around Roten, Texas. So if I go here, I can go to 3D. And you can just move it like this, and you can zoom out, see what's going on in the area in 3D. And another thing that we have here, looks like we do have something here in Midland, Texas. Oh, that's where so you'll see these little spikes up here around Midland, Texas. It's actually because the radar is right there. Here's that storm that I said it's going through Barstow, Texas, right there. And another thing that we can see, and I'm going to go ahead and get off of 3D. It's kind of neat. It's one of the things that they do have. If I get down here, Echo Tops. So we go in here in our inspector tool, and we can see there's 46,000 feet clouds. If you see them any higher than that, which we don't have anything really that high. When you get clouds that go really, really high, those are the supercells that we're looking at. I don't see anything that's really severe. So you got Echo Tops. You can see the height of the clouds. Another thing that we will look at if a severe thunderstorm initiates is the velocity. As you can see right there. Velocity is really good. Yeah. Be able to see the tornadoes, the greens and the reds going away to and from the radar. Right now, it's kind of hard because Odessa is basically the only radar that's covering the area of our concern. Um, we do have one in St. Angelo. There's nothing that ain't got rotation. Like I said, we don't have anything severe yet. Basically, we got pop-up showers, and it looked like it might have died down. Let's go ahead and put that in motion. I'm gonna go ahead and get off the storm chasers. We don't have any in the area. But basically, this is the only storm of significance just north of Sweetwater, Texas. And this is moving, fairly quick. We are going to take a look and see what the DBZs are. So there could be 60 DBZs. So when we look at high DBZs, we're looking at hail. So nickel-sized hail. Usually when those DBZs get up there, this is the inspector tool that I have right down here. You don't see it, but we do have an inspector tool, and that's the, you can see it right there, this little circle like a bullseye, and you can get it down over here, and you can see right there 61 DBZs, and that's what we look for as far as hail. Anything above 50, 55 DBZs, expect some hail. Another thing that Radar Omega has added, and I'm going to go ahead and get to the national radar, I call it. Get off of that. Is the winter mode. So they do have, on the national one, they do have a winter reflectivity. And so if I go back up here and turn on my inspector tool again, you can see it doesn't look like anything heavy. If you get around, different spots, up anything above 20 is moderate snow. And here we got up to 22, 23. If we get into anything that's orange, you're looking at a mix, and I don't, right up here. So we get into Canada, you see a little bit of a mixed precipitation. And I believe also, if we get to single site radar, and let's find a place that's got snow, and the national radars, all the radars combined, they're pretty decent, but if you want a more accurate, we are going to have to go to a local radar. So let's go to a single site radar. And again, on the single site radar, we have winter weather radar. So now you see the blue, and we get to the inspector tool. Yes, and you got places that are up to 30. So, some heavy snow, moderate snow, heavy snow. And if we just go around the area to different radars, you can see the blues. That's all snow. Here you might get a little mix of rain and snow back and forth. So the single site radar is more accurate. Getting around Montreal, radar, Vermont, getting some snow right now. There's several places and maybe higher altitudes, like it's showing some snow right here. And I believe that is a little forested area. So if I go to the national radar, all you're seeing is precipitation. If I go to winter, it is showing snow. So it's pretty good, but to be more accurate, I like to go to the single site radar. This is good to see where precipitation is throughout the United States, and then we can go local radar. Anyway, let's get back to Texas, and the area of concern that I talked about earlier is now a special weather statement. So let's go ahead and take a look at what is going on. So this is the area that, like I said, I would be more concerned for rotation in the area. And I showed you that earlier on pivotal weather. And we'll go ahead and take a look at it, and I'll show you why. I've got to pop up different screens and give you a little bit of less. So I get here, I'm looking at updraft helicity, which measures the rotating updraft in a thunderstorm and the shear, wind shear. And that's kind of what you need for some rotation. So if we use the sounding and we're going back an hour, the CAPE values, and CAPE stands for convection or convective available potential energy, and you want higher CAPE values and low SIN values to initiate those storms. And the LFC and the LCL, the lifting condensation level, and the level of free convection, which is the yellow and the green right there. You want those to get really close together. And so you want basically those particles of air, or the air gets soaked up with moisture, and that rising energy, it goes straight up. And so that's where you get these clouds and storms initiating for supercell. And that's what we're looking for. And we're going to get back to Radar Omega. And I don't know how long I'm going to actually stay on here live, but I just kind of want to show you what I'll be doing next summer and spring, is looking at these tornadoes and trying to figure out where they are at. And this is basically a lot of your storm chasers look at the same data. They're on the ground. They're looking at the updraft helicity. They're looking at photographs. They're looking at CAPE values, wind shear, bulk shear, and then they're on the ground. So they're looking at cloud structure, satellites, and I showed you that as far as the College DuPage satellite. And we're going to go ahead and go to that, and we're going to pop that up and see if that is popping up on, let me get to our area, localized sector, get down here in Texas, big, right there. So I do not have it in motion, but let's go ahead and put it in motion here. And get to my draw tool out. So this is what we're looking at. It looks like just a mess right now. Usually when you see like a real smooth mushroom, a supercell, I'm not seeing that quite yet. So the special weather statement, pretty good, but that's this is that storm right there, and this is the cloud. And we want to look for that. Let me see if I can erase that. Get back to OBS Studio and back to Radar Omega. If I can get back to Radar Omega. There's so many. Oh, here we go. There we go. I got so many things. Like I said, you guys watch my YouTube and my Facebook. I need about 2 more screens, basically 4 screens altogether. It's just easier. There is another plugin that I can download on OBS Studio, which will put up like up to 12, 16, I don't know how many screens. And all I gotta do is just punch in the screen and it'll go straight to that radar or that map. I haven't downloaded it because I don't have a whole lot of screens to mess with. I've only got this one and another one. But if I get 2 more screens, I'll be able to just pop that up and be ideal to have quite a few screens, but these 2. And you also got to realize I've got YouTube and Facebook running on this too. So I've got basically I've had to buy this computer to run all these programs, and I've got Facebook running, YouTube running, an app that's running that's pulling what you see right here on as far as the expires, the active alerts in Arkansas, Texas, the warnings, the currently in Chester, all these things are running active programs. And I've also got Pivotal running, Pivotal Weather running. I had COD running, College at the Page, Satellite. I've got Radar Omega running, and of course OBS Studio running. So all these are running at the same time. Just to put this on YouTube and Facebook. You gotta have something with a little bit of power. Let me go ahead and put this in motion. So yeah, we are going to be looking at this storm right here, or anything else that initiates, and that's the best potential for rotation in this area that you see right here. Right, I'm going to go ahead and put Midland and Odessa, but this is the area. If nothing produces any rotation here, I will probably get off. And not to say that a tornado won't happen anywhere else in this green area. Always listen to your local news weather and local radio, and be alert if you're in that 2% area. I'm just going to look in this area that I've got shaded in yellow. If nothing produces within the next hour and a half, I will probably get off, instead of, quit wasting your time. And you guys can go to your local weather channel where you're at. If you're watching this from Texas, you can go back to your local weather. Basically, this is just, I wanted to get into this not only for a hobby, but I really wanted to get into this because we've had several tornadoes in and around Chester. We've had them south, we've had them across in St. Genevieve, Perryville, Crosstown. It took out Crosstown, went across the river, Steelville, north part of St. Louis. North part of Chester, the ball fields. So we've had our fair share of tornadoes in the area. We had a big, I don't know what they call it, wind bucket. I don't know what they call it. We had one of those come through here, and we was down in our basement. And to be honest with you, I thought we were okay until I went outside. And at first I thought everything was okay, and then a tree was uprooted in my front yard. We had limbs over the garage. So, did you bring me some food?
I did.
Well, all right. So my wife just brought me some lunch. I haven't eaten yet. So this is something I want for basically Chester, but we do it locally. I will go live if tornadoes are anywhere in the United States, but really, I did it for Chester.
Donna?
Some people around here do not have TVs, or they may have internet, and basically all they watch is YouTube. or Facebook, and this is for them. So what I've decided to do is just basically do a weekly forecast, and I'm gonna go ahead and explain this. So I have people say, well, the temperature is not what you said it was. That's correct. That's just a forecast. So temperatures will change every hour, every day. So you gotta look at your weather every day. I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of an idea of what's going to happen. We use the HER, which is basically a 48-hour model to look at as far as the temperatures. That's most accurate, and then from there we go to NAM that goes out to maybe 60 hours, and then you get into your global forecast system and your European models, which can forecast a little bit further. Some people say the European model is more accurate than the global forecast system. I kind of use a combination of the both, and also use the HER and the NAM 3 kilometer. So yes, the temperatures do change. They will go up and down. Weather is unpredictable. You're probably getting more accurate maybe a couple hours before. Like I showed you earlier, where I thought maybe a tornado may initiate, or maybe a rotation, and it changed from 7 or 8 in the morning till 11. It moved a little bit. So, like I said, weather is not going to be the most accurate, except for live radar, which you're seeing right now. This is about as accurate as you're going to get. But you can't predict the winds, how fast they're going to go. They send these weather balloons up twice a day unless there's something severe going to happen. They'll probably send it up every hour. And I'm going to eat while I'm on here. Like I said, I will probably be on here for another 40 minutes. We'll see what happens. If something initiates in this area that I was talking about, then I'll stay on. So right now, basically all we got is 2 special weather statements. One is in the far southwest part of the 2% area, and the other one is in the far northeast part of this 2% area. So this one right here, we are looking at, go ahead. Nickel size hail, 50 mile an hour winds. And if we go up to the northeast part of this 2% area, tornado area, again, 50 mile an hour nickel size hail. Both areas pretty much got 50 mile an hour winds and nickel size hail. So we're just kind of monitoring this 2% area. Elsewhere, and I'll have to get to my national radar, I call it. We will look up what that means real quick. We are going to learn this together. What does MRMS in Radar Omega mean?
MRMS
Okay,
and Radar Omega
multi-radar,
stands for
multi-sensor.
multi-radar.
There you go. So it's multi-radar. I call it a national radar. That's all the radars combined, but multi-radar, multi-sensor. There you go. So that's all the radars combining together. And I've got it on smooth, so you see the difference in the pixelation. You can change a lot of this. So if I go to reflectivity, and if I want it to look like pixels, there you go. And if I want it to go smoother, there you go. So you can change those. Personally, when I get to the localized radar, that's why I have it right now on a little bit of a smoothing on the multi-radar, and then when I get to my single site radar, I go to the pixel. Again, you can see right there it's pixelated. Get it right here. If I go here, I can go to the settings, and I can smooth it out there too. Some people like that. I don't. I like the pixels. As far as the local radars. Right now, the radar that we are on is out, between Midland and Odessa. And if you know about them, I see them on TV quite a bit, and all I can think of is high school football. Probably some good football teams there, big high schools. Let's go ahead and put that in rotation. If you are just joining me, we are looking for some, it's 2% tornado risk in the green area, but the potential area that I'm looking at as far as a concerning area is right here in this area right here. If anything would develop. And the only reason I say that is because I'm looking at the SIN values, the CAPE values, the updraft helicity. And I showed that earlier on Pivotal Weather, and we can go back real quick if you're just joining us. This is what I'm looking at as far as Pivotal Weather. And I viewed the soundings, and we are going to back it up. And we're looking at CAPE values of 1721, and the SIN is at 0. And possible hazard type tornado. So this is what I'm looking at, and this is the latest run. I believe we do have a 19 run now. So let's take a look at that and see if anything has changed. Okay. You will probably see my dog. Let's go ahead and view the sounding of this. This is the most current one. Marginal severe. And we're looking at 1300, 1380 as far as the CAPE, and 10 as far as the SIN. Let's back it up. And that's even better, 1642 as far as the CAPE, and 0 SIN. Right. And that basically is around 4 o'clock. Let's go down here to 2 o'clock. And let's check this area out right here. Marginal tornado risk is still high. Let's go back. 1500 marginal tornado risk. And so what we're going to look at now is the helicity. And you can see it's still in that area. So right here, this little orange area, I'll just take a look at that. And this is kind of just a guesstimate. Marginal tornado. And the reason why it says marginal is because there's a lot of something right there where I'm checking. So 1351 is your CAPE. Let's go back an hour. 17. So that is at 2 p.m., which is now. And let's go take a look at Radar Omega. Okay, so the CAPE is not extremely high, but it's up there. Let me get back to Radar Omega. And that was the latest run on Pivotal Weather. So if anything was going to pop up, I think it's going to be right here. And it's showing right over Odessa is the high CAPE values, and the ascend. I did not check real quick. Now I'll check. I'll let you just look at this radar. I'm gonna go ahead and pivot weather. You check out the possible tornado area. Supercell component. Yeah, okay. So basically, right there, south, just south of Odessa, as far as significant tornado parameter, it was showing it, and it's, you see where this cell right here, this, go ahead and stop it. It's moving right here. So I would say, anything in Odessa, but I'd be careful around this area. Just kind of keep an eye out. Because that's kind of where they're showing significant tornado parameter and supercell composite. And you can see where this cell is moving. So Odessa would be in that area. Let's go ahead and put it back in play. This is not bounced up to a severe thunderstorm warning yet. It's not an active severe thunderstorm warning. Let's go ahead and take a look at the COD satellite, and you can see it is starting to boom up. It's not, nothing's still sporadic. Let's go ahead real quick. Doesn't look like a mushroom. Looks like a mess. So basically, right there's where our storm is at. And I would go ahead and erase that, put a stop to where it's at. So I would say the biggest part of the hail would be right in this area right here. Go ahead and erase that real quick. Yeah, so I can see where the potential for a rotation would be in this area. Wow. Just looking at those clouds is weird. Anyways, let's go ahead and get back to radar Omega. Looks like I got several satellites going at one time. Just because I did. Oh, it's because I changed sectors. All right. Let's get back to radar Omega. So this is the storm that we're looking at right now. Yeah, I'm going to take a second here and get my food. You guys, let's look at the radar. It says PCP. Oh, pepperoni. Thought you'd give me drugs. Oh, a little personal. Wow, look at that, guys. That Mom and Pop's pizza right there. Pepperoni. You know what would be good right now with a pepperoni pizza? a blue raspberry lemon shake-up. And she just gave me the shoulder look and eye look, so I guess that's not happening. I guess Shirley Temple Soda. What's in this other one?
Pasta.
Oh,
Homemade pasta.
anyways, you said, hey.
I just made chocolate chip cookies.
You did?
They're in the fridge.
Oh,
Cooling.
right.
Mike made that one. I didn't make that one. I did make the pasta though. No, I didn't. Mike did.
Hold on a second, people. All right, I'm back on. Thought my wife had something to say.
I'm not making one.
No, I just thought you had.
I don't feel like making one, to be honest.
No, I thought you had, was gonna say something that you didn't want anybody else in the public to know.
I'm not in the mood to make
So
one.
right now, the storm, oh, I know I was gonna show you guys. We're gonna go ahead and put a stop and just check out the DBZs, and we're up to 60, so, we do have some hail. I've seen anywhere up to 63. Oh, 67. I thought there was 67. My dog is down by my legs begging for food. So 63 DBZs. So definitely some hail within this storm. Check the latest. It's 9 miles southeast of Barstow. Anyway, 15-mile-an-hour wind, still nickel sided hail. I'd take a look at the velocity radar. Turn on the inspector tool. I don't see any rotation yet, but right there. Okay, the last one, and it's just minor. Let me go ahead and stop. Let me go ahead and stop the radar. So, what I'm looking at right now is this right here, the reds and the light blues. A little bit of rotation right there. Now I'm going to see if there's any bit of a hook echo. Very, very small rotation. And that could be just up in the air. Anyways, we are going to take a look, and I do not see any warnings. Oh, that has a little. Guys, I'm gonna stay on here, but I'm gonna get off of this. And get back on her. So there is no special weather statement now. %30 chance of hail. Oh, 70% chance of probable hail. 30% chance of severe hail. And that's the cell right here. So yeah, we're just kind of monitoring this right now, see if anything changes in and around Odessa area. I'm gonna go ahead and you're just looking at the radar. I'm gonna look at pivotal weather and see if I can't get the latest reflectivity.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
Oh, back up again. Died down and went right back into a special weather statement. Wow. My, how things have changed. I'm still looking at a nice sized storm, if not a tornado, going through Midland, Texas. They are going to get a storm, and it may not be. See what it's going 233 now. Maybe around 4 or 5, Midland, Texas, may have a storm coming through there. I'm gonna look at right between Odessa and Midland. Hope they're not playing. I'm sure they don't have Sunday football. They will have severe weather. And they do have a, let me see, what time is that? 2 p.m. So there is a chance for a rotation. Probably around between Odessa and Midland in the next hour or two. But we're just going to keep an eye. It's almost like it chimed down and they canceled the weather statement and then they brought it back. Let's take a look. Nickel size hail, 50-mile-an-hour winds. And I've got 2 dogs that are right under my feet thinking I'm going to drop some food. If you're getting on Facebook or YouTube and you wonder why I'm live, there's a 2% chance of tornadoes, and basically in anywhere in this area that I'm kind of watching. Like I said, it's changed every hour. At first I thought right about, let me see, earlier I thought it was about right there, then right here, and anywhere in this area. And I'll go ahead and get the pivotal weather. kind of show you, the most latest run. And we're going to look at updraft velocity. You see anywhere where that storm that we have right now, and let me go ahead and get to that. Yeah, right here, there's a chance for a little bit of rotation. But you get right there around Odessa, I believe, and Midland. And so this is what I'm going to be looking at, guys. You can see that between that and that is the reason I'm looking for any type of rotation. If I do a sounding real quick, marginal tornado risk, if I back it up one tornado, we're looking at Cape values that are up there, 1300, and as of 2 p.m. it was up at 1680, 0 sin, and still within that range of the supercell forming. So let's go back to radar Omega. We're still taking a look at that. I was going to show you guys something, and I forgot what I was going to show you. Anyways, this is why I am on here, is there's 2% chance of tornado, and I wanted to explain a little bit of what I look for. That, and I also went to, if you looked at my live part earlier, where I was talking about the College of DuPage, and I look right there at these radars. Let me get to a better area. Do sub-regional. We want right there. So you can see, I can even get more local. So you can see these storms starting to initiate right here on the corner here. So this is what we're watching. And if I go to pivotal weather, and this is another thing that I look at to kind of see what pivotal weather is showing up. So I do a tornado parameter. You see right there where the blue's at. And if you get to supercell composite, same area. So this is the area that I'm looking at. Going back to radar Omega. And that's the reason I would focus on this area right here. And this is to include Odessa and Midland. This storm is just passing Barstow, and I've got the dog in my way.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
Go. You see what we got going on. And we have one outside the 2% area. No, I'm just talking on here. Just east of Lubbock. Right there. And we're looking at 50 mile an hour penny size hail. But this is the area that I'm looking at. Now I see nothing really strong. I'd be surprised if this special weather statement expires. Oh man, no, I tell you what, it ain't. It's because I'm in a further radar. I'm sorry. There it is. I gotta be careful about that because I went to this radar up here, and I needed to be in the Midland radar. Now, when it gets closer to Midland, I will probably have to go to this radar right here. I'll be right back. I gotta get a soda. Go. You dogs and mooches.
You.
So we gotta buy cases and cases of these Shirley Temple 7-Ups because I don't know if they're just seasonal, but they're good. I'm eating pizza from Mike's Mom and Pop's Pizza. Got an inside connection to Mom and Pop's Pizza. My daughter's married to their son. And my wife works for him. And he's my pastor. And I go bull fishing with him. Anyways, taking a look at this radar again. And I'm going to go ahead and while that's playing out, this is like the 7-day forecast that I got for this week. I've already showed it before. These temperatures will vary every hour, every day. The weather changes. So always look for your local weather every day. Look for the temperatures. This is forecast. You can see my dog just loving on the wire. It just gives you an idea what it's going to be, but they can change anytime. Not drastically, but they can change as far as whether it's going to rain, whether there's 70%, 40%. But I just do it weekly, just kind of give you an idea what to look forward to. So, and I'm going to show that to you here in a second on, I believe it might be Radar Omega. I might show that to you here in a second. So if I get that off, and we already know that there's special weather statements, so let's go to the global forecast system. And kind of give you guys an idea, composite reflectivity. Whether we're going to have any snow or whatever. Let's go ahead and let that load. I do believe they have a winter. Let me get it back here. Winter precipitation type. There we go. So you can see, and this goes all the way up to.
Move.
This is a 12Z run. This is the latest run today. And this goes all the way up to January 9th. But see where the blues are. And I'm gonna back it up. So as far as Chester, and let me get that real quick for those who are watching Chester. I even put this on here, so if you don't know if you can't see where we're at, yeah, we're right there at the tip of this arrow right here. So if you look at that, we might have, and like I said, this could change, and it may dissipate the time it gets to us, and this could be cool. But this is going forward, and if we go back, that's around the 5th. I'm trying to look to see if we have anything. So that's going to be really close, and this is on the 2nd. We're going to have a mix to the west of us, and a little bit of snow. It may miss us completely to the north of us, but it looks like it's going to miss us, and that can change. So that's why I said you got to look at it day by day, because you can see where it's all the way in Oklahoma City, and it's close. We're going to get rain. It's going to, by the middle of the day, it warms up. So it may miss us as far as precipitation. Who's looking for anything else? So the reason I showed you that, and that, like I said, that went all the way up to the 9th. That all can change. So, like I said, you want to look at your weather at the most, as far as your temperatures, to be accurate 2 days out. Anything beyond 2 days, it can change. So let's go ahead and get back to our single site radar. Let's get back down here to Odessa and see what's going on. Like I said, I had a few people say, well, your temperatures weren't quite right. And I'm like, temperatures are never going to be accurate. I can only show you exactly what Pivotal Weather and the National Weather Service is showing as far as the temperatures. So, I mean, the European model, as far as the long term, it's probably a little bit more accurate than the global forecast system. And one of these days I'll show you all that, how far they go out on Pop's Pizza. I didn't really expect to be on here past 3, but I'm going to stay on here probably another hour, probably till 4. Looking at this storm here, go ahead and put that in play. I'm waiting for these storms to pass Odessa and Midland. Then I could probably pretty much say I'm not going to see too much going on. We do have some storms popping off. We got another special weather statement. You'll probably hear that pop up here in a second. I usually get it on Radar Omega, then it runs through my system from the National Weather Service, and you'll hear it right there.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
Let's see what they got going on. Nickel Size Hill, 50-mile-an-hour winds. And this one here, Penny Size Hill. So this one here is around Haskell, Texas, Rochester, Weiner. And you got this one up here, and there isn't a whole lot in this area. I think the closest thing to it, basically to the east of Guthrie, Texas. But like I said, there are probably more rural residents. I'm not sure, but as far as any towns, I have not seen any. Except for this one, which is Sagerton, going through right now. The biggest part of it is going through Sagerton right now in Texas, Weiner, Rochester, Haskell. Getting back here to, I call it my Odessa and Midland storms. Go. Go. I guess he ain't gonna go. My dog is hiding out under my legs. So if you're tuning in on my live here on Facebook, and by the way, I'm gonna reiterate. So just kind of giving you an idea why I went and gone live on Facebook and YouTube. We've had several storms come through Chester, St. Genevieve, Potosi, Chester, Stillville, Crosstown, Perryville. And we've had our fair share of storms coming through here. And some people don't have a TV, they just got internet and they watch YouTube and Facebook. I wanted to focus on Chester when that time comes. But other than that, this is a hobby. This summer I was able to see some pretty decent tornadoes, and I'll probably get a slideshow one of these days and kind of show you some of the ones that some of the storm chasers took pictures of or videotape. I basically screen captured what they were seeing it, but I was watching it live as it was happening. These guys get up there and get really up close footage of some of these storm chasers don't get as close. Some get probably too close. So we will take a look at that. Tornado Paige, I think she had her passenger side window shatter, and so they got pretty close. She was a little nervous, I'm sure. And then I think I've seen who else was it? Freddie McKinney, I believe he got in a couple hairy spots also this summer. But they got some good shots and good videos of some photogenic tornadoes. These guys have to get their windshields replaced quite often, getting in some of them softball, pretty good size hail. So basically I wanted to get a better option for those around Chester and in and around the area around Chester, as we could do it live. And there might be a chance I might have to go down to my basement and do it live. And if you see it cut out, you probably know that we're in some pretty bad stuff. So I will take this down to the basement and try to stay live. And I will only be on radar. I will probably not be as much on Pivotal Weather because I will take my laptop down there and I will not take multiple screens with me. Unless I open up a little thing downstairs where I just keep it downstairs and do all this. But that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. And give you guys a little bit of an idea what to look for as far as tornado and the velocity radars and the reflectivity radars. Something's going on, and I don't know where. Yep, there it is. Now, like I said, and if you've been watching, and let me get off this Chester thing, because you're not there in Chester. If you've been watching the area of concern, and you seen where I shown you on Pivotal Weather the updraft helicity, the soundings and stuff like that. This is the reason why I kind of picked this area, and now we got our first severe thunderstorm warning in the area of concern that I've had for the last. I've been on air for the last 3 hours. It seems like, I guess. I didn't realize I was on that long. I was expecting a lot of this to happen around 2. Things have changed, so from 3 to 4. And this is heading towards Odessa. Is in the path of this. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. Quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. And it's in the northeastern Ward County in West Texas and northwest Crane County. Now it's popping up on the... So you can see it pops up on Radar Omega before it hits my screen. So I get double whammy. So this is what I was looking for as far as storms. We get that off.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
I don't know where that's at. Probably up north, right there. And if you hear me say Paducah, that's in Kentucky, or that's in Tennessee. It's between this new special weather statement is between Paducah, Texas, and Crowell, Tennessee, and you can see it right there, where this cell is moving. The cell that we have right here. Let's take a look. Probably very large hail. Like I said, I think they said quarter-size hail. Severe hail probability 70%. Hail probability 90%. As of right now, we are going to go ahead and I do see a little crease in there. See if there's any rotation. Let's take a look at the velocity. And right there. So there is a little bit of a rotation. Nothing really tight. So that's something that we're going to take a look at. And you can see there with the reds and these very bright blue. I'm going to try to hit another severe thunderstorm warning, and it's now starting to kick up. So we still do have a little bit of rotation. We'll keep an eye on that one. Let's take a look at this one here. See what the best. a big old blob of storm, but this one here has also quarter size mile an hour and or quarter size hail and 60 mile per hour winds. And this will be for Haskell County and west central Texas. Getting back to our Midland here, and if we go ahead and take a look at DBZs on this one, it's up there in the 60, 63. So expect hail with this storm. And it's headed for Odessa. I'm trying to think of how fast we get the spectral tool off. That's moving at 22 knots.
Attention, a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Trying to figure out where that one's at. That was probably the one that flashed earlier. So 22 knots. Get my calculator here. So 25 mile an hour is what the cell is moving at, and it's pushing 16 mile an hour winds. So one of the things that we can look at here, and we go by the biggest part of this core of the storm. If I wanted to, and I'm going to go ahead and I said it's at 25 mile an hour. Let's go here to right about there. And it's going to give me the times, but let's go ahead and even, I said, about 25 mile an hour. We're going to change that to 25 mile an hour. And I'm going to redo this again. They've changed how to do this one, so I'm still learning. There you go. I don't like these times. I don't think they're correct. They may be. Yeah, it could be. I'm still learning this stuff, so. What time is it in Monahans, Texas?
The time in Monaghan, Texas is 3:06 p.m.
That could be correct. It's weird how don't seem like it's moving that slow, but it is. So according to this, Pinwell at 4:04 p.m. So we'll see. I'm testing them out. See how this is actual working. Go ahead and try something different here. Yep. Okay. So this particular storm, and I'm going to go with it. Like I said, I'm still learning some of the things that they have on this. Trying to get an idea. Those are the times, and this is kind of one of the tools that they have. I can tell you the impact times approximately of when they're going to hit as far as Pinwell, Odessa, and Midland. I think before, and I'm not sure, they was able to tell you the population, and I'm not sure if they can do that now. And this is another thing they've added, is I can pop that up for you, which is kind of neat. I might do that. That could be very beneficial for you to be able to see it, especially if you're watching it on Facebook. But we will keep that right there, and we're going to move that right there. So yeah, so we'll be able to do that with this, and then I can change it, and it'll stay about that big, I think. But not only that, it will put the times there on the screen as well. And we got another one kicking off. So we got another severe thunderstorm warning. Headed northeast. Some places in the path of this will be Loveland, Whiteface, Sundown, maybe closer to Sundown. And this one here is quarter-size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Let's take a look. For northeastern Cochran County in northwestern Texas, southwestern Hockley County in northwestern Texas, it was this severe thunderstorm is located 11 miles west of Sundown and 18 miles northwest of Plains, moving east at 25 miles an hour. Hazard 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Source radar indicated. Hail damage to vehicles expected. Expect wind damage to rough siding and trees. Locations impacted include Sundown. So yes, so this would be one of the closest. Let's go ahead and put that back in play. And we got a few storms popping up now. Let's get back down to Midland, Texas. And I'm going to get off of that. And you can go ahead and click on this, and I am going to take a look and see how fast they say this storm is moving at 30 mile northeast at 30 mile an hour. So you can get to that, and I can pop that cell up and maybe not. Get closer. 23 knots. And I'm just testing this stuff out, because they've added some new features to Radar Omega. See, 23 knots. So 23 times 1.15. 26 mile an hour, and they say the storm is moving at 30 mile an hour. So depending on which you look at as far as how fast this storm is moving, I usually go by the cell, and then like I said, I've got 26, almost 27 mile an hour. They say the storm is moving northeast at 30 mile an hour. So before they changed everything, I could look at the cell and it would give miles per hour as fast as it's moving. They changed it back to knots. So if I go with what they say, 30 mile an hour, and now we do have storms, and maybe some showers. Let's go right there. Let me get back down here.
Love you, Dad.
Love you too, baby. Kind of shows you the time too. It's going to hit 4:12. Anyways, I am going to change that to 30. And it should auto. Oh, I know what the auto recalculate, and you'll see this here in a second. So there you can see I've got the times down, and some of the things that you could do with this, and I've changed the color of the cone. City's local time, standard. I do city's local time. So that's city's local time. So if I do my local time, 4 p.m. If I do city's local time, there you go. So we're just trying this out, seeing what they got, and then I can sit there and spread that out. That way I don't have to scroll, and you guys can see where it's going to hit and what times it's going to hit. At 30 mile an hour. That doesn't mean that you're, if that's the initial point of the cell. of where it is at, the initial point of the cell. If I go ahead and let's go ahead and delete that. I call that the main part right there, the initial point of the cell. So if I wanted to, you kind of give a guess of, you might have rain showers before then, because you can see you have a little bit of precipitation about to hit Odessa, but the main cell, core cell, right here, and I'm going to just kind of give an idea of a direction that it's going. I'm just going to take it out. It'll give you the times. So, this is a learning curve. Trying to figure out, it'll give you an idea about when it's going to be in your area. But I said you always want to go ahead and look at the radar, and kind of, giving a direction. I've given a guess at the direction that it's going and the areas that could be impacted and what times they could be impacted. So it's kind of neat. They used to have the population, and I have to look around and see if they still have that. Get the cellular phone, calculation speed, cities format, standard. I have no idea what the 5-minute shade is or 10-minute shade. They may not have it on here, but previous, your tracking mode used to have the populations of each town and the times that it can hit. I'll have to just look and test it out. Really don't care about the population. We care about all population, but about the areas that it's going to hit, the townships. Just go ahead and take a look at the velocity radar. I'm still seeing some rotation. Nothing really tight. Right here. You can see the blues and the reds. Let's go ahead and get off of that. Get out of that. And let's put that in play. Unfortunately, when we look at these radars, we're wanting to get the best look as far as, tornadic. So when it gets close to the radar, we can get some misinformation. So we got to kind of go to a different radar that would capture that. And so right now, we're using the San Angelo radar instead of the Midland radar, and I don't know if there is another one that's really good that you could use. Let me go ahead and So when it gets closer to Odessa and Midland, we'll switch to a different radar. As far as to see any type of rotation, because you won't see it that well. Right now we got 3 active severe thunderstorm warnings. One by sundown, heading in the direction of Anton, Levelland. Now Levelland looks like it. Yeah. Little village of Levelland. I say little village, it's probably a little bit bigger than that. Probably size of Chester. They have a municipal airport, so. Hope Dock West is in the path of this. And then over, and all of that's west of Lubbock. The other one we got is a weird track. Monday, Corey, Texas, headed towards Seymour, Texas. A lot of those are out of the 2% risk area, but never count anything out. So our main concern right now is Odessa and Midland. I've got 2 dogs laying on the ground. They're hungry. They want food. Actually, they're not hungry. They just want my food. And come here. Look in the camera. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. So anyways, I got this one here. He likes to argue. He likes to talk back when I don't give him anything. Isn't that right? Ain't got nothing. So we got another special weather statement. So we got a few thunderstorms out there, and we got 3 that are severe in Texas. The area of concern that I was looking at is right here, and it is now 3:25. By 4 o'clock, it should be in and around Odessa. And it may change paths. We're going to go ahead and take a look. I've already put the and it's really hard to tell. It may go just south of Odessa and Midland, but don't ever count anything out. So we'll take a look. Stanton, and that's way, way far out there. We're talking almost 15 till 6 before that hits that area. So we're just going to take a look at this right here. We got a split and we got a cell Kermit just to the east of Kermit, and it is headed north. So we'll just take a look at this for a little bit and see if anything develops. Go ahead and get off of that. This still is moving at 30 mile an hour. Let me get it. an idea. And we got another cell popped up. 23 knots. Oh, probably 27 mile an hour. 23 knots? Yeah, so I'm guessing. 23 knots times 1.15. So I'm guessing about 27. So 27, 30 mile an hour. So this storm look like it's kind of moving. Let me take a better look at it. Kind of moving northeast. There's a line. It's starting to become a line. And so I don't, you won't see a supercell. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the COD radar looks like. Just looks like a mess. Basically a line of thunderstorms. So I don't see an individual supercell in that area. So I don't ever count out a tornado, but an individual supercell I do not see. You have that little bitty one there at the corner, and I do see that as far as the clouds, but that's about all I see. I see a big mess of clouds. That's about it. So we'll just take a look at that for just a little bit. Like I said, I'm looking at basically that's what I'm looking at right there. As far as that, if you could see, I'm looking at explosion clouds. They have that little bit of isolation of a storm right there by its little self. And that's what you see right there. So it looks like when you say you're looking for a storm with rotation or tornadic, you kind of looking for a discrete supercell, and I just don't see that. It looks like we got turning into one big line of storms. So we will take a look at that, and as you can see, it looks like the severe weather is now off of it. Let me go ahead and get to my radar Omega, and we've only got two, and they are up in Cochran, Hockley, Texas, and Haskell, Texas. So, well, let me get back on that. There we go. A little blackout for a second. So,
New information, this severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
So basically, these are the only two severe thunderstorm warnings that we have right now. As far as our 2% area, where I was looking at, looks like we've become a linear storm. We got one little isolation up here, but I'm sure that'll mix in. Let's go ahead and put that in play. And even if I put this in velocity, there's you can see right there, even though this is the special weather statement. Let's go ahead and put that in play again. We do have a rotation, and this is basically your rain particles that are going to, and the red basically is going away from the radar, and the greens are going towards the radar. So that is basically the rain's going in a circle. And that's your rotation. So we'll just take a look at this, and it looked like it is going to move. This rotation is moving south of Odessa and Midland. Let's get back to.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
Well, I'm sure it has. Right up there in Oklahoma. You see, we got a big mess of storms.
New information, this severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
And that is in Fisher, Haskell County. Yeah. So basically this one right here. So we do have a couple severe thunderstorms, and you don't see precipitation there, but we hit the Lubbock and right there. Let's go check out the velocity in that. I don't see anything as far as rotation. Going over there, let's hit this one. If we get down here, this is the only one that's showing signs of rotation. And that's the updraft helicity that we seen on Pivotal Weather earlier. It just seems like these storms are starting to die down.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
Anyways, guys, this is the area that I was looking at in and around Midland and Odessa. And we will take a look at it for another 25 minutes, and then I'm going to sign off of here. Like I said, if you guys check this out, and like I said, even though the CAPE levels were, I don't see extremely high, they were 1700, and the SIN levels, I mean, some of that stuff was just spot on. And the updraft helicity, those are the things that we look for as far as tornadoes. Usually some of the pictures, some of the huge tornadoes that I've seen, you're talking CAPE values up there around 3,000, 4,000. And this right here was at 1,700. So the ingredients got to be just right. Not that we ever hope for a tornado, but it's good to be able to warn people. So it's just a night, one of the things that we look at. Go ahead and put this in play. And like I said, you can catch this on, if you want to add me on Facebook, go to Bill Rose, look for that German Shepherd picture, and ask to be added on. I will add you on. As far as that, Billy Rose Hillbilly Weather on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel, and I'll give you a weekly forecast for around the Chester area. As far as the national, anything that's tornadic, I will do. But the main purpose of this is, especially for severe weather around Chester, Illinois, because we do get tornadic weather around here. So we will probably sign off of here in about 25 minutes, unless something else happens here in this particular area that I thought had more potential. But like I said, it's becoming a linear storm. And like I said, I will probably, not only just the storms for Chester, this is something new to me. I'm going to try to do as far as winter weather wind chills, winds, and stuff like that for winter weather. And, you know, basically the snow radar, precipitation, where the snows are, and stuff like that. And it's something they've added onto Radar Omega to be able to show on radar the snow. And then I will try to explain the DBZs when we start to get that winter weather, whether it's between 0 and 10, DBZs of 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and kind of give you an idea the intensity of the snow, whether it's moderate, light, or heavy. Like I said, the winter weather is going to be something new, and we're going to give it a shot. But like I said, most of this is going to be, I will cover any type of severe weather that I can outside of Chester. But I will definitely concentrate as far as a local weather. Chester, Illinois, week-long forecast I give on Saturday, or anything else that comes up during the week. And I'm going to go ahead and say again, I give the temperatures from Saturday or from Sunday all the way to the following Saturday. Those temperatures are always subject to change. If something changes midweek, I will get back on and post another video. If there's severe weather, whether it's snow, school closings, stuff like that, then I will go live. If there is severe weather around Chester, I will go live. Other than that, I will just post videos. If there's severe weather somewhere else, as far as tornadic or severe thunderstorm warnings, I will probably go live.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
We'll go ahead and continue to look at Odessa. I'm going to take a second real quick. Let me see if I could do this.
Sit down, you're gonna break the chair.
All right, now I'm back. Also, I do the weekly forecast. If you have something that you want posted, just put it in a text or give me a message on Facebook and I'll post it. I also put on there local events, whether it be Mom and Pop's Pizza or Sherry's Sicilian Swirl or any of the Christmas events or high school events. I will also post here on the YouTube and Facebook channel. Like I said, you can reach me at Bill Rose on Facebook. You can send me a message, add me, and also share. You subscribe to my YouTube channel at Bill Rose Hillbilly Weather, and also share. Other than that, it is 3:42. It's November 23rd, and right now our current temperatures in Chester, Illinois are 50. Feels like 50. There ain't no wind, and humidity is at 93. Real quick, since there's only 2 active severe thunderstorm warnings, let's go ahead and take a look at when the rains are going to be in and around Chester. And for that, we will go to her model that's most accurate as far as short term. Go ahead and get to that. Convection line, her, and precipitation type, and let me see. As far as the rains are going to be here, we're at 20. Let's see how far this goes. We might have a little precipitation around 10 p.m. And around Chester. You can see that. Let me go ahead and zoom in real quick. Let's go ahead and get the 18Z. So 18Z run is probably the best as far as the most accurate. So let's take a look, and let me go ahead and put my Chester arrow, and we are going to put it right there. And we'll go ahead and run this and see when the rains will kind of come in. So we're looking, we got sporadic showers throughout the area, especially to the south, Marble Hill area. And we're looking around close to 2 p.m., 3, we're going to have some rain showers. It doesn't look like anything severe. We might have a little bit of a break around 7, and then we get in a little heavier precipitation in around 10 p.m. and it's going to go on over midnight, and it's going to clear out probably about 4 a.m. on Tuesday. So you go ahead and back here. So expect around, I'm going to say around 2 p.m. tomorrow, and going all the way until Tuesday around 3 a.m. And you can see that. Let me go ahead and squeeze it out there so you guys can see pretty much what we got going on.
Attention, a new tornadic severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
All right, we're going to take a look at that here in a second. So yeah, you see this storm right here and where this low is going to be moving out. Let's take a look at pivotal weather and what's going to be bringing in that rain real quick. And let me go ahead and get here to and I'm going to move it right about there. And let's get to our mid-level flow. And our low, which is sitting right there. And that'll be at 4 p.m. So we got a low sitting right there. That's what's bringing these severe thunderstorms in Texas. And it's going to move across and be hitting us here. Let me get to the 18. Oh, I got the her on. Let's go a little bit further out. And let's do the NAM 3K. There we go. And it's going to push in. And that's going to be our range going into Tuesday. That low. And that's where that low is going to be sitting. Let me get that back here. And we'll lock that in. And that's where that low is going to be in. Bringing out all that moisture in. So let's get back to Radar Omega and see where the severe weather is. Let's get back to our single site radar. And we're back to Odessa being a severe thunderstorm warning. Like I said, in the next 15 to 20 minutes, we'll take a look at it. That is the only severe thunderstorm warning that we have. And this is our target area that we looked at earlier as far as tornadic. Go ahead and put that in play. And it's become pretty much a linear storm. Big line of thunderstorms. Let's go ahead and put that on the high resolution velocity. And again, there's still a little bit of rotation in a couple spots. Nothing really tight. And let's go back to the reflectivity, and we'll just continue to watch this one. Like I said, it looked like it's going to be moving south of Odessa and Midland, Texas. Right now, I think I showed you guys earlier of the 3D look at what we got going on. Kind of had a little split there. We got this line of thunderstorms right here. And that's what the 3D model looks like. And let's go ahead and see what their statement has. Tornado possible. So let's go ahead and take a look what we got here. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 15 miles southwest of West Odessa to 8 miles southwest of Grand Falls, moving east at 30 mile an hour. So these storms are still moving at 30 mile an hour. I got 60 mile an hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail. Expect damage to roof sidings and trees. Locations include Grand Falls, Royalty, Imperial Reservoir, Pleasant Farms, and Cordona Lake. This includes Interstate 20 between mile markers 91 and 94. Remain alert for possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go at once into the basement or small central room in a sturdy structure. So, this is still the area that we've seen the helicity, updraft helicity. And let's go ahead and really quick before I sign off of here, because as soon as it passes Midland and Odessa, I think things will start to die down as far as extreme severe weather or tornadic. Let's go ahead and take a look at that on pivotal weather. And let's get my low off. And let's get into our severe weather. And we are going to go to our HER model, get back to our local area. Let's go to a regional right here, and we're going to go back. So you see where the helicity is, and this is, you see these little dark circles, the updraft helicity, that with wind shear and vertical winds updraft, which causes circulation. So this is what we're looking at. If we move it forward, this is in the Midland area. We might have a few other areas past 7 p.m. Oh, really light. Let's go ahead and get to just the helicity. But this is the area, and right there where that orange is probably the more intense. Trying to figure it out here. There we go. And there you go, right there. So this little area right here at orange, this is close to Odessa and Midland, what we're looking at. And this is as the 5, and it's 3:54. So this is what we're looking at. And if I go to radar Omega, right here around this area, it's a bigger chance in this area for circulation. Let me get that Chester arrow off, because that is not Chester. So we'll go ahead and keep an eye on this real quick. It's been pretty much they say it was going to be partly cloudy. I haven't really seen any sun around Chester. So I don't think I've seen any sun. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and take a bathroom break. I'm going to leave this radar on in around the Odessa, Midland, Texas area, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So like I said earlier, and if you are just tuning in, I'm going to go ahead and get to pivotal weather and kind of show you what I look for as far as severe weather and potential tornadoes. So we got this updraft helicity. This is 5 o'clock. Let me see if I can get the latest run at 21Z. Yeah, they ain't got much going on there. So let's go back one. So there is, this has changed quite a bit. So I'm going to stay on air for a little bit. This is as of 5 o'clock. So I guess I'm on for another hour. But look at this right here. Let me go ahead and mark this area. that is pretty significant updraft helicity. If we review the soundings, and I'm going to have to get back on here real quick and move it over for you. And see what we can get here. And I'm going to take my my webcam off, but I'm going to leave my mic now so you can hear me still. So what we're going to look at, and I'm going to back it up. Here we're looking at 1183 Cape in the SIN level. And go back one more. Here's at 1200. I think that's as far back as it goes. So there's still potential for tornadic weather. And I'm going to see what we got here. I'm going to go back one more. 5. Right here. So this little storm right here. And if I go back to Radar Omega, that is basically that's showing just north of, actually really close to Midland, but we'll take a look at it. That's just a prediction. Let me go back up to 1 and okay,
New
so
information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
it's just a we do have some updraft helicity in the area. Let me okay, so it looks like back it up real quick. Get back off of that, get a good sounding. So this one right here, the updraft helicity, is actually going to be east of Midland, Texas. We're going to review the sounding of it real quick. Marginal tornado. I don't see it happen. The Cape levels, the SIN levels ain't really, I just don't see it. But there's still potential. And that is showing around 6 p.m. Well, we're not going to stay on until 6 p.m. There's just a chance. I don't see anything happening. But as the storm moves north, you can see there's a little bit of development begin happening, and it looked like it's going to move north and just kind of east of Midland, Texas. And I'm thinking probably something is going to be moving up in this area.
No. Remember?
the updraft Felicity that I've seen now, which is heavy, but I just don't see the Cape values and the SIN values. But right here. So, see if I can switch to a different radar. We're still looking at some pretty heavy hail. We're going up to $50 now as far as the hail. And we do have some updraft Felicity in the area. So don't ever count a tornado out. Let's go ahead and look at the reflectivity or the velocity. So we do have some rotation, probably right about here. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on that. You see how things go. And I don't see that because there's just a little notch right there, but kind of keep an eye on that real quick. I'll be right back.
The middle, and you split them in.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been
Right,
issued.
and then you just take one and you twist it and you, like you're doing a braid.
Yeah, so if you see behind my computer, I've got so many plugs and lines and wires. Basically, I do have a second monitor off to my right here, and I use that to move around the maps. And if I go to my laptop computer, this is where I can switch to pivotal weather and photographs and my COD, which is College of DuPage, satellite picture of the clouds. So we do have some storms bubbling up. It looks like just a big line right there. Let's go ahead and get back to Radar Omega. And then on my monitor to the left, and I can switch back to Radar Omega and then move the screen around. That's the reason why I want a couple more screens. The one that I bought here, I got off of Amazon, which is about $50. But it works real good. That I got on Amazon. And just a UBC hookup to my laptop. So if I get two more screens, I'll have to kind of daisy chain it or get me a USB hub and plug it in to make it easier to switch screens instead of going through Pivotal Weather or OBS and then clicking on each one. I can get to a screen and put each map in a little window, and I just can hit the window and it'll automatically switch to that particular app that I want to go to, whether it be the College of DuPage satellite with clouds or the Radar Omega or Pivotal Weather, where I can show you the photographs, the updraft Felicity, the mid-level flow, jet stream, and all that kind of stuff. It just makes it a little bit easier and have to switch because I've got so many icons I might hit the wrong one. But Other than that, we are taking a look at that. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this. And this is basically now is moving east, just south of West or Odessa and West Odessa, just due south of West Odessa right now. Let's go ahead and put it on high resolution velocity. If there is any, a little, and it's not tight, so it'd be a broad rotation. That broad rotation would be right there, and that's very, very broad.
Attention, a new special
Go
weather
ahead, put that
statement has
back
been
on
issued.
high resolution reflectivity. So if anything, as soon as it passes anywhere when I get this storm to pass this area and nothing happens, then I'll probably get off. As far as the current updraft helicity, and I haven't really looked at as far as the supercell composite and the significant tornado parameter. Really quick, we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So we'll go back to her, and we will go to significant tornado parameter. Going to move it around. If anything, it would be up here around Garden City. Let me go ahead and put supercell composite. So I would check around this area, but this is where I've seen the biggest updraft helicity, right there where that big green is. So that's what we got right now. When it gets past Odessa, we'll have to switch radars and probably go to the San Angelo radar.
Not enough, it's gotta be more stuff.
We go ahead and check the velocity on this one. And I don't see a whole lot. We go to the Odessa. I don't see a whole. The only rotation I might see is around Imperial, and you can see that right there. Let me go ahead and get to the high resolution reflectivity. Yeah, really hard to tell.
Attention, a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Yeah, just around Imperial. But it's really hard to tell with a linear storm. Be right there in this area, but we'll just have to keep an eye on it. That one that split off about an hour ago is now by Andrews, Tennessee. And let's go ahead and take a look at, go ahead and put a stop on that. We're talking, probably some very big hail. Let's take a look, see what we got going on. Actually, just quarter size hail. Uh, 10 miles southwest of Andrews, moving northeast at 40 mile an hour, 16 mile an hour winds, and quarter size hail. Locations impacted are Andrews, Flory, and Andrews County Airport. And that's what we got right now. Let's check to see if there's any type of rotation. Here they got radars kind of spread quite far apart, you know, except for San Angelo and the Midland Odessa area. Let's go ahead and put that in play. I didn't even check to see if I was even live on YouTube, Facebook. Also, I would be able to chat with you guys if I was able to see the screen.
Yeah.
Hmm. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got going on. Yep, I'm alive on that one. We're good on that. And yep, I'm live on both. But anyways, let's get off the inspector tool. Back to the high resolution velocity.
Attention, a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
That one is near Wichita Falls, Texas. Let's go ahead and get that on radar. And get to the reflectivity screen. That one's moving at 55 mile an hour. It's got 60 mile an hour winds, and it's got quarter size hail. Um, this is warnings for west central Clay County in northern Texas and central Archer County in northern Texas, southeastern Wichita County in northern Texas.
New information, this severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Okay, so when I showed you the helicity, and we're looking here on radar Omega. If I click on it, you can see it says severe thunderstorm warning, hail 1/4 inch, quarter size, 60-mile-an-hour winds. But if we go in this area of concern that I showed you guys earlier on Pivotal Weather about a couple hours ago, tornado possible. Hail 1.25, half-dollar size, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So this is the reason why I went live, kind of show you a little bit as far as pivotal weather, reflectivity, maybe what a rotation looks like. I wasn't really hoping to have a tornado, but a tighter rotation that I could show you on radar Omega, which kind of shows what a tornado looks like as far as the velocity radar. If we had something that was really, really dark red like this, and something like this, really close together, you know, if this is right there with it, then you would think that's a rotation right there. That's possible tornado or a radar indicated tornado. So let's get off of that. So we do have. This is Imperial. This is what I showed you guys earlier. Maybe, nothing big, but maybe a little bit of a rotation. But nothing, nothing to brag about. So we're just going to kind of look at this. Usually you're looking for hook echo, and since this is a line, it's really hard to tell. But when I say that rotation, but you can see this, I call it right here, and not really much of a hook, but got a little indentation. So if I go from there and we go to the velocity, you see the difference in the colors there. The dark light blues or the light blues, and maybe just wanting to turn red. So that's something to look at. You see a little bit of a hook right there. So there may be a little bit of a rotation right in that area. And if I go back to the high resolution reflectivity, that would be in this area right there. Not a real defined hook, but it gives you an idea what we're looking for.
New information, this severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Got a severe thunderstorm warning. Let me get here and see what we got going on here. Get back down to Odessa. Well, there's been a couple spots of maybe a little bit of rotation in the atmosphere. So that's probably why this one is a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning. And that's kind of the reason. Usually in the morning, when I'm off of school during the school or during the summertime and spring, what I'll do is I get in the morning, kind of look at the area, look at the helicities, look at the SIN and the CAPE values. And then by noontime, kind of look at it hour by hour. And usually in the afternoons between 4 and 5 and 6, that's when you have all that daytime heating and all this energy. And that's when we have a lot of these tornadoes pop up. Usually I would say in the spring or spring, a lot of the ones that I've seen were up and around South Dakota, Nebraska, North Dakota, Kansas. But anyways, I check those out, and then I start looking at the radars, the velocity in the clouds, the satellite clouds, and look for the discrete supercells. Those are easier and for a potential tornado compared to I call this a linear storm. Just a big line. If we put that in place, just one big.
New information, this severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
And I think we've got another one coming up too. It's wanting to pop up. And I think it's going to be right to the east of this one. I just seen it flash, so it's really wanting to. I'm going to get off of this, and I'm going to pop it back up on here real quick. Kind of get an idea of what's going on. There it is. Okay, so this is the new one. And let's see what we got. Considerable damage threat, where this one wasn't. So let's see what we got here, guys. Tornado possible, 70 mile an hour winds. So now I'm seeing winds up to 70 mile an hour.
Attention, a new tornadic considerable severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
And there's probably a little bit of a rotation right there. Let's go ahead and get to our velocity radar. Seeing it maybe right there. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's get off of that. You get to the reflectivity. So yeah, this would be the little notch area. There's probably a little bit of a rotation, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Let's go ahead and put that in play. And we may put that, leave that just there and put that in play and look for that rotation. So there's been a little bit of rotation. I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there.
Very much so. You're getting it.
Not a real tight one, but a little bit of a rotation. I would have said that right in this area.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
So this one right here that we're looking at, and I said earlier, the areas that I was looking at throughout the night, and I've checked every model and looking at the helicities, cover pretty much this area. Really thought it was going to be down here. We've had a little bit of rotation, especially down here at the bottom here. And it's changed a little bit. But the biggest updraft helicity was up here a little bit earlier on the last run. But right now, basically what we're going to do, is just kind of watch these storms as they go on.
To start to. You're not gonna pay attention to it.
Another severe thunderstorm in the morning. Still around Andrews. That's another one that's got 70-mile-an-hour winds, golf ball size hail. So if we go ahead and take just a look, we're getting up to 70, I think 72 is the highest DBCs, and that's where you're getting those golf ball size hail. I believe that is north of Andrews, Texas. We're back to just one severe thunderstorm warning, just south of Odessa. And this is the only one that's possible severe thunderstorm warning.
Move.
Tornado
Move.
could be possible
Move.
with this line. And this one is up to 70-mile-an-hour winds. What kind of cookies you making?
Chocolate chip.
Baby boy. You been a good boy? You been a good boy? You want a treat? Oh, yeah. Yep.
You didn't even eat pizza?
Hmm?
You didn't eat any pizza?
Make a whole pizza.
No, I'm talking on at Mike's thing.
Hmm.
Mhm. What were you doing there, fixing his generator?
Yeah, he said he was having problems with it.
Yeah.
I don't think he was starting right. He didn't pull the choke out and it.
Did you show him how to do it?
Yeah.
I want
Take a
some.
look at her velocity.
No.
Anyways, when we get to this one, I didn't show you guys the high resolution correlation coefficient.
Attention, a new special weather
One of those things
statement
that
has
we
been
look
issued.
for anomalies in here for debris. It's one of the things I look for. Let's go ahead and get back to high resolution velocity.
Move. Move. Remember? Why do you have to be right there? Cold. Only because she was having cold water.
Go ahead and jump back to pivotal weather and take a look at the updraft velocity.
Move.
Metallic 7. There we go.
Move.
Let's see if I got the latest one. And let's get back to, well, let's take a look at the tornado parameter.
Move.
And the supercell composite. Alright.
Move.
Okay, bring it all in. Add down. So right now, looking at the models, the area of concern is going to be right here in this area. The latest runs that I've seen with the updraft velocity and supercell composite. So we're just going to take a look, see what happens here. I didn't plan on staying on this late, but we'll go ahead and keep it on here live. For those of you who are in Texas, this is Odessa right here. This is Midland. When you get Big Springs up there. The supercell up here has 70-mile-an-hour winds and go up both sides. You gonna make me one?
I didn't.
I'm gonna try it. I don't know if I like it. Pretty good. What kind is that?
This is something new. It's called Nice. It's a holiday nice. It's Sprite Zero, blue raspberry and vanilla creamer. Wow, that's good.
It is good.
Woo, that's good. You want one?
I want a raspberry limeade. Okay, yeah, I'll do one of those. Oh, yeah, just make one of those.
Two.
Yeah, just make one of those, but fill it up. Want to switch to St. Angelo, turn that on. And the reason why I switched this radar is to get a better reading as far as any type of rotation. This one is too close to get an actual reading. I mean, we'll switch back and forth, but if we get to the velocity, and there's still a little bit of a rotation right there, and I don't know what this mess is up here. If we go to St. Angelo,
That's
and that's about the same area of rotation around this area. So we'll just keep an eye on this cell.
it's wrong one. You got one.
I got what?
A drink already.
Well, you asked me if I wanted one. So what did you put in before?
Vanilla.
No, I'm getting a dirty soda from the Swirly Swirl Company.
Swirl.
Huh? Sicilian Swirl.
No.
Sicily Swirl?
Sisley Swirl.
Sicily Swirl Company. Dirty soda.
Oh, the. Nice.
Where'd you get that recipe?
Online.
Online?
And you would serve it with you would serve it with a candy cane.
Oh, I want to.
I don't want it. That's good. How is it?
So we'll keep an eye on this. We've got a little bit of nothing tight, but you can tell there's a little bit of a rotation right there. And I went ahead and switched the radar to St. Angelo's simply because it's too close to the radar.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
I'll be right back. The only reason why this is tornado possible supercell is because of the updraft velocity, and you can see that little rotation right there. Nothing really tight, and but there is rotation probably up in the clouds, and we're gonna kind of keep a watch on that. And this is kind of moving in this area that we've been talking about, right up in this area near Guard City.
Move. River, I need you to move, baby girl. You can't just sit there.
And the reason why we do that is because if we look at here, and we're going to go back to pivotal weather. And we are going to go to the updraft velocity. This right here, if I'll go ahead and do a sounding of it real quick. Very, very, very small cape, so not a lot of potential energy. Let's go back real quick. Nothing. So I doubt there's going to be a whole lot of energy. As the night goes on, it's going to diminish. But you can see how it's following that rotation that I was talking to you about. And let me go ahead and get my draw tool out. You see from here on this velocity, and you can follow that. You see where that line is and how it goes. And if we get back to radar omega, let me go ahead and do that real quick and get to the reflectivity. Or get to the velocity and put that in play. And you can see this rotation right here. If I can go back, let's go back 30 frames, and now it looks like the rotation is getting tighter, guys. So, or it was tight at one time. We'll go back 50 frames. Then let me draw a tool out. And you see the line that it's going to go. This rotation right there. And that's the updraft velocity, so that's probably why you got that rotation. Um, you can see right there. Well, I still got my line, so let me move it. See if it kind of follows it. Yeah, very close. And that's where you see a little bit of the change in colors between the reds and the green or light blues. Um,
Move. Move. Move.
Attention, a new special weather statement has been issued.
Move.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I'm gonna continue to track this. If it does tighten up and I can get it, I'll record it and I'll show that to you the next time I get on here of what we been talking about as far as updraft velocity and the velocity in a tight couplet. But other than that, I'm not gonna keep you on here. If you are in and around Odessa, Stanton, Garden City, keep your radios on and watch the weather.